fabulous IXL tutorial. Today we're working on IXL C.2, add and subtract integers using counters. All right, to better understand integers, first of all, integer is typically a whole number, whether it be positive or negative. Now in this case, we're going to use something called counters to add up -6 plus 1. Now, quick review. Let's say for an example, we have a positive 4 and a -4. So for an example, positive 4 minus 4. Well, because they are opposites, you have $4 and you lose $4, it's going to give you 0. And it doesn't matter how big the numbers is. Let's say you have a positive $1,000 and you lose $1,000. Well, guess what? It's still 0 because they're opposites. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the opposite effect here to go ahead and calculate which picture shows the sum. And the sum means add. So referring to this model here, when we start with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, -6 plus 1, well, the negative will cancel with the positive. And what is left is -5. So -5 is the correct answer. And also what is left that matches the correct answer is the first image there. So pretty nifty, it's pretty cool. So again, opposites cancel just like I showed here. And whatever's left over is your remaining answer, in this case, -5. Therefore, the 5 negative circles. All right, let's go ahead and clear the board. We have 5 minus 3. Now, because they say subtract right here, these are actually all negative because we're subtracting. So what happens here is that positive cancels out with that negative. That positive cancels out with that negative. And that positive cancels out with that negative. Therefore, the two that are left is what we're looking for. So 5 minus 3 is positive 2. Now use common sense too. I mean, you guys can do 5 minus 3. It's pretty straightforward from elementary school. So 5 minus 3 is just positive 2. But watch the words though, all right? All right, here we go. We're going to clear the screen. All right, we got another problem here. We got 6 plus -5. Now, when you have a positive and a negative, opposite signs mean just subtract. So what this is right here is all subtraction, which is nice because now positive cancels out with negative, positive cancels out with negative, cancel, 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 cancel. Wait a minute, 6 minus 5 is positive 1. So positive 1 is what we're looking for here. All right. Doesn't get much better than that. We're just adding, right? So we got 7 plus 3. So 7 plus 3, what happens is these actually slide up here. So you actually have 2 more, positive, positive, and positive. And you count them up. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So we're going to go ahead and pick the image that has 10 positive in there. It looks like we're going to be counting for a little bit, but not too bad. The way I look at it, it's kind of like mentally like 5 and 5, right? See, you see how right here we got 5 and 5? Well, 5 and 5 give you 10, so I know this is the right answer. So therefore here, this is too many. There's way too many positives in here. Right here, there's not enough. And right here is even more than the first one. So we're going to pick the one with the 10 positives, which is here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Just a fantastic problem right there. All right. Watch this word right here. Remember we used that word before, subtract a negative. Well, when you subtract a negative, subtract negative, negative means opposite. So what's the opposite of negative? Negative, negative is a positive. So let's see if I could turn this into a positive coin. That didn't work out too good. But anyhow, this is a positive coin. So what happens is you got 1, 2, 3 positive coins. So therefore, we're looking for that solution here. Why? Because the opposite of a negative is a positive. So 2 plus 1 is 3. So we're going to go ahead and choose 3. Some of these problems is kind of a little bit sneaky, but it's all good. All right. Check the words here. We got -2 plus -5. We have opposite signs here. And when they're opposite, it's minus. So this just means add up all the negatives. So we got 1, 2, adding, right? Keep adding 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 counters. So we're going to choose the one with 7 counters. And it looks like the 7 counters is this one right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So again, when you say, if you go shopping, right, you go shopping, you spend $2, plus you add spending more money. Well, you spent 7 altogether here. So they just go together like that. How are we doing? 6 questions, 49 smart score later. Not bad, not bad. All right, here we go. We got that double negative here. When you have a double negative, it means the opposite of negative. So what we have here is a positive. So these counters are actually all positive. So again, just trying to be sneaky. So now for every negative, cancel out with the positive. Negative, cancel, negative, cancel. What's left? Negative 4. So we're going to go ahead and use negative 4. All right, next up we have a negative 1 minus 1. Ooh. We lost $1 and we lost another $1. That's what that means. Because we're subtracting money, well, what this really means is we lost that. So we have 1 and 2 negative coins. So negative 1 minus 1, well, we're down 2. Be careful, that's not 0. That's one of the classic sneaky problems, but we're not falling for that. All right, next up we have negative 2 plus 5. Negative 2 plus 5 is straightforward. Negative and positive, they're opposite. So opposite, 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 opposite. And there we go. We're looking at positive 3. All right, next up we got a negative 6 plus a negative 3. Well, adding and subtracting means subtract. So again, we're just going to add them up. Same sign, add them up. So here we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 counters, 7, 8, and 9 negative counters all together. So now I got to go fishing for some 9 counters. We have 8 here. We got 9 here. We got 7 here and way too many here. I don't want to count all that. But we're looking for the one with 9 counters. It has to be the second one down. All right, next up, we got a 1 minus 3. Wait a minute, 1 minus 3 is the same sign, so we should be adding them all up together. So because we are subtracting, remember this word right here? We talked about this earlier. Subtracting means these are all negative. So subtract, 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 because positives are being subtracted to negatives. So what do we got? We got 1, 2, 3, and 4 negatives. So the 4 negatives here is that right there. So negative 4. All right, very straightforward. We have 5 plus 5. Well, 5 plus 5 is 10, so we have 10 plus signs. Call it 10 positive counters. So we need to find the 10. It's either these two, because the other ones are all negative. So obviously I don't want to pick that. So we got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I don't want 11. So this better be 10. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So we want the third one down. Perfect right there. All right. Careful on this one. Look at it. It's 6 minus 1. The word subtract means we want a negative counter because we're getting rid of positives. So when you have a negative and a positive, that cancels out with that one. Therefore, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 left. So 6 minus 1 is 5. So we're going to choose 5 counters. All right, last problem. We got a smart score of 78, 13 questions answered. Again, always look at the problem carefully. It looks like a lot of red. But wait a minute. It's one of those kind of sneaky ones. Subtract means opposite. See how that subtract means opposite? So instead of negative, we want the opposite. We want positive. So subtracting a negative means opposite of positive. Wait a minute. Opposite, opposite. Those cancel out. Opposite, opposite, those cancel out, and therefore, what do we got? Negative 4 counters. So we're going to go ahead and choose negative 4 counters. And this is going to take us to a smart score of 81. What a fabulous IXL. Trying to be sneaky, but we got them all right. So, well, with that being said, this concludes your tutorial for IXL C.2, adding, subtracting integers using counters. Have a great day.